Things that I wish somebody told me in my late teens or early 20s as a young woman. Men are conditioned by patriarchy standards and misogyny to manipulate and deceive women to get what they want from you. And what is that? Free service, a maid, a therapist, and at worst, somebody to birth and look after their children, with no intention of giving anything back. And the minute you question them on their actions, you become the problem.
You made simple things hard by your body so easily. Now you blaming the patriarchy. Madam, no one deceives you. You just want to be paid for being a woman. And every title comes with responsibilities and duties. Titles like wife or mother. Sorry that you gave out your body to a man who wasn't committed to you. Blame that to your mother, who groomed you without a father, that you were starving for validation and compliments.
I was just at the gym and I see a very handsome guy, dark hair, mustache, hat, you know, great looking guy. And I'm like, wow, he's really cute. So I tested a little bit and I stared at him and smile, and he smiles back. I'm like, okay. And then I'm with my friend, and I was like, that guy's really cute. And she's like, well, he's staring at you. And we lock eyes the whole time at the gym, the entire time at the gym. We're locking eyes. I'm smiling. Then there was a moment where we're like 30 or 40 feet away. I stand up and I look, and he's looking right at me, and I smile, and he smiles back. And I'm just like, okay, like, he's gonna talk to me for sure. Then I go do my set again, and he comes by where we're working out, and I'm like, oh, okay, he's gonna do something about it. Like, he's staring at me the whole time. I'm staring at him the whole time. I'm like, should I talk to him? Like, I'm giving him the cues. He should know that I think he's cute. He's looking at me, I'm looking at him for an hour and a half. Then I'm leaving, and he's walking right behind me, and he just passes me. And this happened 2 times. I'm like, what are we doing here? Did you get nervous? Or what? Why are we looking at each other and then you say nothing? I don't know. I don't know what to say. But I gave him the cues. I was looking, I was smiling. He was smiling, he was looking. And then he just walked right out.
What about you talking to him? Wait a minute. Bro is just being polite by smiling back, and because you looked at him, he's supposed to know you like him? You didn't say anything to him to make it clear you were interested. You didn't say anything either, so what's your point? He was simply working out and being polite by returning the smile, and then went on with his day. We don't approach women anymore, sorry. The social convention is guys don't approach women in gyms without the woman starting the conversation.
Why do men never ask questions back? I actually think I have an answer for you. And if there are any men listening that want to correct me or add some details in the comments, you're more than welcome to do so. But I learned this from Allison Armstrong, and I absolutely think she's onto something, because you'll find that a lot of men don't ask questions. And women view asking questions as a form of interest. So it's how we connect, it's how we get to know people, it's building connective tissue in a relationship. But a lot of men consider asking questions to be intrusive. And so it's not a way to create connection. Connection might come from other things, like doing an activity together or climbing a mountain together. That creates more connection than asking each other questions. And it's not that it never happens, but if you notice that men generally don't ask questions, it's not personal, and it's also not necessarily a sign of disinterest. Of course, asking questions is a natural part of getting to know each other, but men generally are not going to fire off a bunch of questions in the way that women will. So it's not a bad thing, it's just not really in their nature. So when you ask a question, it's not necessarily going to be their natural automatic response to reciprocate with a question. That's what women do. And if this annoys you, then why don't you just volunteer the information that you want him to know? Instead of waiting for him to ask you what type of music you like, just tell him what type of music you like. And if you're like, Sydney, no, I want him to be asking me questions. He's a man. There are certain things that are not in their nature, and it's not a bad thing. Like, I'm sure you've seen those videos where there will be the boyfriend who had a friend who went through a breakup. And then the girlfriend is like, okay, when did it happen? And who initiated it? And what caused this? And were they fighting leading up to it? And what time did this happen? And are they still living together? Did one of them move out? Like, there's rapid fire, a laundry list of questions that the girlfriend is asking that the boyfriend is not. Because it is not in their nature, and it's not a bad thing. Even to their own closest friends, they will not be asking all of those questions.
Men ask questions for information. Women ask questions for connection. Men can talk about things without making it intrusive and like an interrogation. You make a statement or tell a story, we pick out the salient points and refer to them using our statements or story, thereby signifying that we heard, we understood, and can bring similar experiences and information to the conversation to show we heard and understood, and that brings us closer through shared experience and common ground. We don't want to interrogate and have to keep pushing and digging for information. Our conversations flow differently, in tandem or in parallel, not head to head.
Whatever happened to men going up to women? Whatever happened to it? We want that. Bring that back. Can we bring that back? Can we start a movement?
I need them to bring back the real niggas. When I say, I need my pussy waxed, I need my hair done, I need my fucking nails done. Sit in that shit, no problem.
Bring back men who beg. Bring back men who beg.
Can we please bring back the 90s men, like the men who adored you for real, the men who really loved you, the men who begged for your love, like the ones who cared about you for real, the ones who, it don't matter who around, they're going to show their love for you. Like, bring back the nice men, bring back the respectful men, bring back the men who don't feel like they have to be hoes.
When are men going to step up to the plate? Like, when are men going to be leaders and initiators? You know, like, bring back the manly man.
They say that this year for like 2016. Well, if it is, bring back the niggas from 2016. Because what is happening with these men from nowadays? They acting more sassier than ever. I never seen them act like this. Yo, us females are stronger than them. We know what we want more than them.
They ask the same question over and over and refuse to take accountability. Bring back women that date for love and not for money. We aren't simping there more, ladies. The simp pandemic is over, ladies. Bring back the men that boosted our egos while we chase men who really don't want us. There, I fixed it. Why beg someone who doesn't want you? If I gotta beg or chase you, then you don't want me. If I gotta pay period, I don't want her.
All right, I might ruffle some feathers with this one, but if you thought that dating in 2025 was bad, 2026 just cremated it. Dating isn't just cooked anymore. It's overcooked, charcoal, burnt. And here's where it went wrong. Everyone was told they deserved the best without becoming better. Now, we've got people who want marriage benefits with talking stage effort. Everybody wants loyalty. Nobody wants discipline. Everybody wants honesty. Nobody wants accountability. Social media has convinced people that they've got many options, and dating apps convince them that they're special. Now, average effort thinks it deserves elite results. Men are becoming more feminine, women are becoming more masculine, and everyone is shocked why. I'll tell you why. You've got men who want constant reassurance and emotional fucking babysitting. And you've got women who want to lead, dominate, and debate everything like it's a freaking podcast. Men say that women are unrealistic, and women say that men are immature. Although both are right, both are still single. I miss when dating used to be, how do we build this together, babe? Now it's, well, what can I get without committing? And no, this isn't a gender war. I just want to put that out there. It's standards without structure. Like, you can't want traditional love with modern laziness. You can't want peace while acting like chaos is freaking cute. See, here's the part that people hate hearing. A feminine woman does not weaken a man. She actually controls him better than any force ever could. Because a calm, soft, grounded, feminine woman will have a strong man working harder than any argument ever will. And a strong man doesn't suppress a woman. He gives her space to soften up. But instead, we've got men avoiding responsibility, women avoiding softness, and both calling it independence. Hey, newsflash people, you can't have two leaders in a romantic relationship. Just like you can't have two followers. That's not a relationship. That's just chaos with matching outfits. Now, we don't need men acting like men from 1920s. And we don't need women pretending that they don't need men at all. We need men to be men and women to be women. And both to stop being offended by biology. Disagree with me in the comments. I'll wait.
There is nothing to disagree here. Everyone feels like they have unlimited options due to social media, and there is an astounding lack of compromise. Do you know what lack of compromise leads to? War. Hence why it feels like a gender war. In this channel, I teach men to be men and women to be women.
I have been abundantly clear about the fact that I do not want a pen pal. It has gotten to the point where I have now put it in my dating profiles, not looking for a pen pal. Don't match with me if you're looking for a pen pal. So this guy adds me on Snapchat, and save your Snapchat hate comments, okay? I'm not the one. I love Snapchat. So this guy adds me on Snapchat, really cute, great mustache. And we're chatting back and forth. He lives about 4 hours away. He wants to come visit, blah, blah, blah. It becomes very clear to me he's looking for a pen pal. So I stop answering him because I hate talking for no reason. I don't just talk to a bunch of guys for no reason all day. Like, if you are getting to know me, if we have a date planned, if there is a purpose, I will talk to you all day long. I will not just Snapchat you back and forth for no reason or text you back and forth for no reason. I just won't do it. So this guy is at like 6 Snapchats in a row of me not answering him. He finally says, okay, if you don't want to talk, then just say that. Well, like, I don't think I need to say that. I think it's pretty clear. But I said, hey, sorry, I don't like talking for no reason. He said, what do you mean for no reason? I said, like, I'm not just going to Snapchat you back and forth for no reason. He's like, well, I want to get to know you. So it's not for no reason. I said, And he's like, what? I'm like, there are a bunch of logistics of why this would not work long term. What I'm thinking in my head that I'm not saying out loud to this man is I don't believe you. I don't think you actually want to get to know me. I think you just want someone to chat with. You just want another notification popping up on your phone. But I'm being very curt, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. I'm like, you live really far. I don't know how this could work. You still live with your ex. He lives with his ex. And he got really mad when I told him that was a little bit of an issue for me. There's more to the story, but for the sake of privacy, I'm just going to leave it at that. He's like, we'll figure it out. I want to come see you. I don't know. There's like this much of me that wants to entertain it. But you know what I'm going to say to him? I'm going to tell him, when you have a trip planned, I say this to guys who say they're going to fly out and see me too. The second I see the flight confirmation, you have my full attention. Send me the flight confirmation. I'm locked in. A road trip is a little bit harder to confirm, but until I can feel it in my bones that you're serious about coming to visit me or about getting to know me, you're not getting my attention. I'm not spending my time talking to you for no reason.
Girl, you always have excuses. She stays complaining about things she could easily prevent or change. Why do you keep matching with people who lived hours and even states away if you don't want a pen pal? People can't drop everything and travel 8 hours round trip for a date immediately.
I went on a date with a guy on Sunday and we had a great time. We went to the movies, we went for dinner afterwards, and then we came back to my house and we were chatting. We spent like 4 hours in total together between the movie and then dinner and then chatting. And I texted him afterwards and I was like, hey, I had a really great time. Hope you made it home safe. Let me know when you want to go out again. And he responded and was like, yeah, of course, of course. And then I didn't hear from him. So then 2 days later, I gave it 2 days. I texted him, I was just like, hey, happy Tuesday. Like, hope you're having a good day. And he responded and he was like, yeah, hope your day's going well too. How are you? And I was like, oh, you know, like crazy busy week, but like not bad. And then I get the text. Sometimes it happens after date 1. Sometimes it happens after like date 2 or date 3. But it's always the same. And it's like, hey, I didn't really feel a spark and I wish you all the best. And every time I'm like, you know what? I appreciate your honesty. I would much rather get an I didn't feel a spark text than be ghosted, because that also happens with alarming regularity. So my question, I guess, for like the chat is, do you expect to feel a spark after one date? Because I personally, I'm a thinking first, feeling second kind of person. And for me, date number 1 is just like a vibe check, right? Like, do you say anything crazy? Do you feel like this is somebody that you could see again? But I'm not an emotional person. So maybe other people do feel a spark on the first date, and it's just that I am a different type of person, and that is an okay answer. I'm just trying to get a gauge, because like part of me really thinks I didn't feel a spark is like code for I'm not attracted to you in person, which is also a fine answer, and there's nothing I can do about that one. Like, if you don't find me attractive, you don't find me attractive. But if there are a lot of people out there who are expecting to feel a spark on the first date, and because I'm not an emotion first person, I'm not giving whatever it is that they need to get from me to feel a spark, that's something that I can work on. So, thoughts?
Men assess attraction and compatibility very quickly because we process interest differently than women. Physical attraction is immediate. We know within seconds if we find someone physically appealing. Conversation quality becomes apparent within minutes. Is she interesting, pleasant, or exhausting to talk to? Energy and vibe are instantly felt. Does she make the interaction easy or difficult? Red flags reveal themselves early. Entitlement, negativity, self-absorption, masculine energy. By 15 to 20 minutes, men have enough data to know, yes, I want to see where this goes, or no, this isn't going anywhere. Here's what happened with her specifically. He agreed to the date, probably based on her photos and minimal conversation. Within 15 to 20 minutes of meeting her in person, he realized she doesn't look like her photos, catfished. Her personality is off-putting, boring, or incompatible. Her energy is masculine, negative, or exhausting. She has immediate red flags he can't overlook. He finished the date out of politeness, but knew almost immediately it wasn't going anywhere. The no spark message was him being honest instead of ghosting, which is actually respectful. Here's the accountability for her. If men consistently lose interest within the first 15 to 20 minutes, the problem is her first impression. Either her photos misrepresent her and men are disappointed when meeting in person, her conversation skills, personality, or energy are immediately off-putting, she's not physically attractive enough to compensate for personality issues, or vice versa. She needs to examine, are my photos accurate and recent? Is my conversation engaging, or am I boring, negative, or self-absorbed? Am I pleasant and feminine, or difficult and masculine? What immediate impression am I giving that makes men lose interest so quickly? The fact that he decided within 15 to 20 minutes means something about her initial presentation is fundamentally unappealing. She needs to fix that instead of blaming men for knowing quickly what they want.